Hey, I want to do a quick video about something that actually it seems like most people know about, but it's not being used appropriately or applied. And so the vast majority of mortgages are portable. And so it means that like when a client gets a mortgage and they're 2 years into the term, they have a really great rate, they can take that mortgage to new property and without necessarily breaking the penalty in the same way and moving the mortgage down the road. Now here is the problem. First of all, I think it's very prudent to make sure that you're asking clients about doing that to begin with. But secondly, nearly nobody qualifies for this because when you port a mortgage, you have to qualify at original amortizations or at today's amortization when the qualifying rate is much higher. You have to you don't necessarily know which rate you're going to get. Like this is not, and you can search on the internet. There's some great stories. Particularly, there was a couple in Alberta where they bought a farm, and anyway, they go sideways very fast and cost your client a lot of money. The question here is to make sure the switch in strategy that you have to look at is when a client has an existing mortgage, you need to send them in, not just to me, but to a mortgage borrower, say, hey, you want to look at two options. Run me the options with the port and without the port. Keeping both those options available is really key right now. If a client tells you it's okay, I got it approved because I got a port on there, you're going to find that when they write an offer, because the dates, everything like that has changed the port, you're going to find a few things. First of all, if they're depending on a port, when they write an offer, you may find they get turned down for financing. Two, you may find that they're going to evaporate a lot more of their savings than they thought they would and pay a lot more than they thought they would. So when you're letting a client go in and saying, hey, I'm just going to only get the port, this is a dangerous option. But on the flip side of things, you don't ever want to have a client not looking at that option in this type of market condition. So the tip here is every client that you have that's going to sell and buy a home, send them into a qualified mortgage broker. Yeah, we'd love for that to be us, and get them to get a quote on and get them to look at both porting and non-porting. And also a final tip here, because this is a big issue right now. A lot of people go, well, we've had a lot of clients recently, which is interesting that we've had clients this, because when I look online, this is a typical problem. They go, well, I got my mortgage at Scotia, so I'll go into Scotia and do the port there. And some mortgage brokers might encourage them to do that this is not the best way of doing it. The best way is for us to go to their bank directly, look at the port options, and then line them other option. Even if they're using a bank that doesn't necessarily use mortgage brokers, send them in to us so that we can still advise them on a port and advise them on a second option without a port to avoid disappointment. So anyway, that's the tip for today. Have your clients looking at proper portability.